Hello and welcome back to my channel. My name is Trix and I make content about spirituality, philosophy, creative arts and also creative planning and stuff like that. And I also do music and I do vlogs and other stuff. In today's video I want to talk about how they destroyed my confidence as a kid, but how I grew stronger the older I became. um, because I was a strange little kid. I I was born autistic. I didn't have a lot of friends. I I was bullied in school, and they did the most horrific things to me. It wasn't just saying mean things or talking behind my back. It was that as well, but it was more physical and more violent than that, because I had my head flushed in the toilet on the regularly, and I also got beaten up and sexually harassed and stuff like that. And when it was at its worst point, I even got threatened with a knife, and I have a scar, or threatened, they actually cut me. I have a scar on my arm today from that. So I was very heavily bullied in school, and I had one friend in fourth grade or third grade, I can't remember, but we were kind of forced together by our teacher, because she thought this girl was new in class and I was alone, and our teacher thought it was a good idea to make us become friends, but we wasn't really compatible because she was much more talkative than me. And also, this new girl, her parents did despise me. Her mother was so mean. I remember her mother tried to tear us apart, or to make us not be friends, because I think it was racism. I think it was because it was just me and another girl in the entire school who was mixed race or mixed ethnicity and had a parent from another country. So I think it was pure racism, but her mother said that if I was bullied, it sure must have a reason for that. It sure must be my fault. And she blamed me like a 9-year-old for what was happening to me. She didn't want her daughter to be associated with me because I was bullied. The mic stopped working. Anyway, I take the sound I get. I don't know what happened here. So now, welcome back. I have, I think, figured out the audio. The audio stopped recording before in my in the previous clip, and I sort of figured it out, but anyway, I will continue. I got a friend actually in my teenage years, and I was around 13. She was 12, I think, and I was 13, so it was I was 1 year older, and we were friends, I think, until I moved to another city or town, because the bullying was so bad, so we had to move, but also because of my parents' divorce a few years earlier. My dad couldn't handle the big house that was left to him alone, so we moved to a smaller apartment in a bigger city, and I had the chance to like start have a fresh start in my academic career, and also with friends and with school in general. So I things went quite well in 8th grade and in 7th grade and 8th grade, or if it was 8th grade, but then I got mentally ill in 9th grade and high school. I dropped out of high school, but I did earn a high school diploma later, or an equivalent. In Sweden we have a different school system, so you can earn like an equivalent to a high school diploma in another field, like in a college field. So you can still, if you have an equivalent knowledge, or equivalent knowledge, you can still go to college even if you don't have a high school diploma. And I managed to get a diploma in an equivalent to high school. Anywho, but when I started to get real friends, it wasn't until I was above 20 years old. I think I was 23 or 24, even 24 I think, when I started to go to church, and I found a lot of friends there. Then I became the target of religious trauma, and that wasn't very fun. But I still have those friends today, because they aren't extreme like the other ones in that church were. But one of the friends I met in church, she went to like a meeting point for people with disabilities. It was called like social psychiatry center or something, and my first thought was, no, I don't want to be with other autistic people or people with disabilities, because that will only make me isolated with other disabled people. Then I will never meet any neurotypicals. But the entire world is made up of neurotypicals, so I was wrong, and I now have my best friends from there. And that was actually how I started to gain more friendships. And I started to hang out with people like me, who was thinking more like me and use their brain more like I do, because we are different. We think different. We are wired differently, and that helped me to find friends that were more similar to me and my interests and stuff like that. So going to the social psychiatry center, that meeting point, that was the starting point of my new journey with friendships. That was also my start of dating. I have dated some women before. I'm bisexual with a preference for women, but I met a woman in this is social psychiatry, and we started dating, and she had like a similar background to me, but we ended up going separate ways because she had some problems with drugs and alcoholism and stuff like that, and I couldn't really help her, and I wanted to because I was madly in love with her, but we both became like angry at each other, and we decided it was best to just let go. But that was when I became more experienced in dating, when I met new friends, and then the friends from the friends, or the friends of the friends, uh, introduced me to other people that might be someone I would date. So it was like a friend's friend or some acquaintance to someone. And you know, when you have a network of people around you, it is like a spider web, because they are all connected in different dots and in all kinds of ways. And yeah, I think that's the key point to make friends. If you just find some people that you resonate with in some capacity, and in some, if you like books, then maybe the library is a good starting point. Maybe if you have disabilities, try to find out your local meeting point for those people with disabilities, because it's difficult for people with disabilities to just become friends with neurotypicals, because they don't understand everything. So yeah, I think that's the starting point, to find a group that you can connect with, and then you pull like things from there. I actually like doing life alone sometimes, but that is when I feel alone, like a lone wolf, but not lonely, because that is something different. I like being alone sometimes because I am a lone wolf, but I don't like to feel lonely. And most of the days I don't feel lonely, even though I live alone and doing most of my life alone. I feel now that I can call my friends, the handful of friends I have, and get connection there, but still be alone in my day-to-day life, and just meet up with them sometimes when we all agree on that, and that's it. It doesn't have to be that complicated. I feel like people want too much, and I am not in any way nihilistic, but sometimes it feels like people think I am nihilistic, because I don't think there is a clear point with anything, and it's up to us to make it matter. And I think I make my friends matter, and my loneliness, or my alone time or me time, I make that matters as well, and I don't have to have it so complicated. If I'm alone, doing life alone, single, no person I'm dating or have a relationship with, a romantic relationship, if I'm doing life as a single person, that's something I can live with. That's something not I don't see that as less than, and I don't see that as something bad. And when I feel like it, I can call on a friend, and we can do do things, because the friends I have are luckily friends that I can see quite often, because we are more than acquaintances that I rarely see. We are like close friends, and I can see them a few times, if not every week, so every other week. So I don't feel alone anymore. I think the conclusion is that things get better when you grow up a little, because you gain more confident with age, and I think if I could choose being with people all the time with no breaks, or being alone all the time without people, I would choose being alone. If I had those two extremes, I would say I would choose rather to be alone than being with people all the time. But of course, middle ground is the best, and to not overly complicate things. I think it's nice to have friends as well, and I love my friends, and I like to have them in my life. So I'm not saying that I don't do that, but I'm lucky to have those handful of friends and really cherish those people, and uh, just pour love on them, and not have like 20 friends to share all that love with. I I prefer to have like 5 friends and pour all my love on them, so they get all the best of me. I love my little family, so I can feel comfortable around those, because I don't feel comfortable when it is too many people, is what I'm trying to say. Anyway, that was it for this video, and I hope that this video made sense. I just wanted to put out my 2 cents on how I lost my confidence as a kid when I was bullied, and how I'm now have become stronger as a woman that is a little bit older. Yeah, that was it. Bye.